Welcome back to the channel where we explore the creative uses of AI, and I know I'm a little bit late on this whole stable video 3D thing, but you know, it's spinning animations over and over, and I thought, is this really something I need to spend a lot of time on? But I saw it demonstrated enough times that I decided, okay, I'll download the workflow and give it a try, and as you can see, I couldn't stop trying it. I've created a version of the workflow for you, assuming you're using ComfyUI, and I'm going to show you how to use it. If you're not familiar with Stable Video 3D, it is from Stability AI, the people who brought us Stable Diffusion, and most of the animation and video and all the artwork stuff I do is done in Stable Diffusion, so I'm a long-time Stability fan. But I wasn't really sure how I was going to use the Stable Video 3D, because when you look at what the output is, it's a lot of spinning 3D objects. Now what this model is able to do is to take a still image and create a 360-degree rotation, even though it doesn't have the information for the back of the object. And here are just a few examples here. And all of these animations that you're seeing spinning on my screen right now were created with a single image. It's going to require a workflow that I'm going to leave a link to, and you will need the SV3D models, which can be downloaded from Hugging Face. You can link to Hugging Face from the description below, and you will be brought to this page where you'll need to sign up for Hugging Face if you don't already have an account, and then agree to the conditions for accepting this model. Among other things, you can't use it for commercial use, and I'm not sure how I would use it for commercial use anyway. I'm just here to demonstrate it to you because it gets highly addictive. Once you have an account and have accepted the conditions, you'll have access to this link right here, Files and Versions, and you want to download SV3DU safe tensors. It's 9.36 gigs. Just be ready for that, the time and the space required to download it. Now when you load this up, it's obviously not going to have these images spinning in here, but let me walk you through. As you can see, it's a pretty simple workflow. I modified the original because it was set up to just load an image and then feed it right into the workflow and spin it around. I wanted to have the ability to generate an image right inside the workflow just in case I didn't have images all over my hard drive and I wanted to drag them in. This way it's all one thing. Well, let me tell you what we've done here. It's very simple. This first block is just image generation, your positive and negative prompts. You can choose whatever model you want, XL, 1.5, doesn't matter. If you want to embellish all this with LoRa's and stuff like that, be my guest. But for the purposes of this, we just needed something that was going to be able to create a simple object. And then we use this image background remover node to take out the background so that the model will just be concentrating on the object itself and not trying to spin the entire background. Although you can get interesting effects like that. Once the image is generated, it's brought over in here where the SV3D model is loaded. The model was trained at 576 by 576 for 21 video frames. So you want to go ahead and adhere to that. I've done other things and it's worked just fine. But if you want to do it how it was made to do it this way. The process takes this image and then it creates, in this case, 21 images where it has figured out what the back of this model looks like, and then puts them all together in an animation, and then I just added an interpolator to smooth it out a little bit so it's not quite so jerky and lasts a little longer so you can appreciate it more. So see, really not much to it. How does it work? It really couldn't be simpler. You just type in what you want it to create. A jar of strawberry jelly, and hit Q prompt. As I said, you can use any model you want to. I'm choosing to use a turbo model. This is Reality's Edge LCM Turbo XL, which means I can generate these images super fast, like 11 steps, CFG of 2. You can play with those numbers depending on the result you want to get. But again, for what we're doing here, it's really not important that we have that much detail, is it? Okay, we generated the jar of jam with strawberries. It removed the background and now it's sending it over here. We're loading this model. The good news is this model only has to load once. Even if you keep generating images and activating new models over here to generate the images, this one stays right there in memory and you don't have to go through this loading process every time. Isn't that nice? Because this is only 21 frames and I think we're rendering 24 steps, this doesn't really take that long to create this base animation. And in my Comfy Manager, I have the preview method set to TAESD slow so that I'll see this preview here as it's rendering. If you don't have that going, you won't see that until it's done creating the video, and it'll pop up here. Once it's created those frames, it really only takes a second. Now there's our initial animation, did a really nice job, and now it's being interpolated over here. And again, because it's only 21 frames, it only takes a second, and now we got a nice, smooth, spinning jar of strawberry jelly. This Reality's Edge model does a great job with action figures, which is perfect for this kind of spinning thing. Let's just do a generic superhero action figure. Hit Q prompt, and this will take 0 time because we've got the LCM model in here. And so now we have some sort of hybrid action figure here. Looks real good. We're going to pop out the background here, send it on over here to the K sampler. Immediately starts rendering. See how fast this is going? I haven't done any edits. I'm about to though. Okay, here's the initial one. See, it did the whole back of the cape just great. It does a fantastic job for the most part of understanding what might be at the back of these models. Now we got our nice smooth version. Let's think of an object that naturally spins. You can see in the examples, I've already done a ballerina turning, I've done a barber pole. What else spins? How about the screwdriver? I'm not sure we're going to be able to see much spinning here, but this was the idea. I wanted to see more of the screwdriver though. And because this is ComfyUI and because we can queue jobs, I can go ahead and put other things in here. Fast food worker action figure. Bronze jur of a gorilla. Here's our fast food action figure. That's awesome. We're animating. And there's our screwdriver spinning around just like we wanted. Right, that's fun. One thing to note is that with the background remover, you can define what the background color is. For example, if you were going to do something creative with this and you wanted to make it easy to key out, you could choose the background color of green and do like a green screen. When you render the prompt, you'll generate a background color of green, which you can easily key out in your editor. Here's our fast food guy spinning. This one turned out really good. It's a little weird on the back of the styrofoam box, but the uniform and everything else is great. We've got a logo on the back of the shirt. Just about ready for our gorilla statue. There we go. A little fast there. And then there you go. Now the crazy cat lady had too many cats in there. I should have said something like just holding a cat. Lady holding a cat. That's what I'm going to do next. All right, but see, now you can see it actually eliminated some of the cats in the background. So the only thing we're going to get spinning is the lady and the cat. So it'll be interesting to see what it does with the back of the cat. In the meantime, let's just change this prompt for a second. Old lady with gray hair holding a cat. Put the background color back to white and generate. Meanwhile, almost ready with this one. Now we got this crazy cat lady spinning. Just as an example with the screen, let's just save this video out and then we can go to something like CapCut and just drag this video in. You can see the detail isn't very immense there. And then we can just drop any background we want to on there. In this case, I'm doing an image. I'm gonna move this on top of that. And then we're gonna use the Smart tool for remove background. We can just use Chroma key. I'm sure auto removal would work as well, but I'm gonna use Chroma key and then choose the green color. Move her over there, hit play. You get the idea. And back over here, we have our old lady holding a cat spinning around. Now, if you have some images on your hard drive that you'd like to do this process with, and you don't really need to generate an image, you can just bypass this entire group, and then I have a load image node right here, and all we have to do is drag from where it says image here to where it says init image in the SV3D conditioning node. Now, whatever you drop in here will be processed, and nothing happens over here in the image generation window. And there you go, so easy. I don't think there's really too much more detail to go into. I could do a million examples, but that's just wasting your time from doing examples. So if you're set up with ComfyUI, I recommend going to grab this. Who knows where the technology is going to go, so to have some familiarity with it is never a bad thing. Plus, you may really come up with some cool creative ideas to use this. Remember NFTs? Remember that? That would have been great with this. If creative AI in the music space and video space and animation space is something you're interested in, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel because that's all we talk about around here.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you. And I